In the city of Boston, how much did you spend?
We don't ask about immigration status and delivering city
You don't
services,
ask
so
about
we
how
don't
much
have
money
that
the city
number.
of Boston has spent on illegal immigration?
We
Are you
don't
out of your
distinguish
mind?
between immigration status.
Do you
as
manage
part
your
of our
budget
city
or not,
policies.
Mayor Wu?
That is how we keep
Mayor
our city
Wu,
safe.
do you manage
we
your
have
budget
the
or not?
numbers to prove it. I manage my budget. I have a AAA bond rating dating back 10 years.
So to the city of Boston,
budget.
just understand that your mayor does not care how much of your resources she has spent on people who are not citizens
The city of Boston
the city of
is
Boston.
sick of having
I'm
people
reclaiming my
outside
time.
Boston
Mr.
telling
Bear,
us what
Mr.
we
Bear,
need.
Right hand.
Some tough talk on Capitol Hill, and you could see it got contentious. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu among the 4 Democratic mayors who testified about their sanctuary cities. And as the mayor answered questions, protesters and supporters took to City Hall to voice their views. Republicans accused the mayors of putting their cities in danger and undermining President Trump's mass deportation efforts.
While Democrats called today's hearing a sham, accusing the GOP of exaggerating crime stats and really just looking for sound bites. Our team coverage kicks off tonight with CBS's Erica Brown live in Washington, D.C. with some of those tough questions, Erica, and how the mayor answered them.
That's right, David and Lisa, and it was a tense meeting, a tense hearing, much contentious exchanges going on between Democratic mayors and Republican lawmakers. But Boston Mayor Michelle Wu brought her newborn baby nearer to the hearing, and she received ashes before the hearing to mark Ash Wednesday. She pointed out in the hearing that more than 1 out of every 4 Boston resident is an immigrant.
Do you solemnly swear?
After the mayors were sworn in, the Republican chairman of the committee quickly got to his reason for holding the hearing.
Sanctuary cities make us all less safe and are a public safety nightmare.
Republicans argue the city's policies regarding undocumented immigrants allow dangerous criminals to go free, but the Democratic mayors push back on the idea that their cities are less safe.
We are the safest major city in the country, in part because people trust that they can call 911 and help police solve crimes.
Have you considered removing sanctuary city status?
We are going to continue to keep our policies in place that have been working for the people of Boston.
The mayors contend the policies, which are at odds with the Trump administration's mass deportation agenda, are necessary to ensure undocumented immigrants can report crimes and access services without fear.
I do not support mass deportation. That would be devastating for our economy, and there are millions of people who are running our small businesses, going to our schools.
And the mayor pushed back when challenged by lawmakers who claimed Boston is being overrun by undocumented immigrants.
There's no capacity. That's too
Congressman, respectfully, I'm the mayor of Boston. I don't get to decide who comes into our country and where they go after that. Our job is to keep people fed and healthy and safe when they arrive in our country.
And the mayor, she pointed to a downward trend of crime in Boston, saying that homicides were down 40% as she pushed back on some Republican lawmaker claims that sanctuary city policies in Boston were making the city less safe. David, Lisa?
All right, Erica Brown in Washington, thank you. A Florida congresswoman is calling for the Department of Justice to investigate Mayor Wu. Congresswoman Anna Paula Lena says she will criminally refer Wu and 3 other mayors to Attorney General Pam Bondi. A referral does not mean the DOJ will actually investigate. Lena called Boston's Trust Act a direct violation of federal law. That act says Boston won't hold any immigrant who's the subject of a civil immigration detainer. Wu said that Trust Act does not break any federal codes. Let's bring in our political analyst, John Keller, now. And John, how do you think the mayor did politically?
David, about as well as you can do in a format that's designed to be a political performance with Wu and the other mayors cast as pincushions. She stayed calm in the face of political bullying and scored her share of points off her Republican interrogators. Now, the $650,000 the city spent on consultants to prepare her does seem like an awful lot of money, but she was well prepared, so it seemed to pay off, David.
So in a meeting like this, or this type of format, as you put it, you just have people yelling over each other. So did anything productive come of this?
Sure, just like any given hour on talk radio, right?
Yeah.
Very productive. No, this was a congressional hearing. Of course it wasn't productive. Early on, Congressman Steve Lynch made an appeal for a serious discussion of how to fix our disastrously broken immigration system. But you know what? They've been talking about that for 40 years down there with no results. And with President Trump demonstrating so effectively how the issue can be exploited for political gain, there seems to be zero chance of that situation changing. David, now we know why people hate politics the way they do.
If the Democrats are asking the questions, if the Republicans are asking the questions, it always has a little Jerry Springer feel to the whole thing, doesn't it?
Sure does.
All right, John, thank you. Lisa, over to you.
All right, David. John, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley wanted to pause the hearings to introduce multiple pieces of evidence today, but the chairperson did not want that.
Mr. Chair, can I have several articles. I need to enter them. Let me just go ahead with what the articles are. What they speak to.
What's the next article?
Let me proceed. Data from Texas shows that U.S.-born Americans commit more rape and murder than immigrants.
Listen, this trend of you all trying to get thrown out of committee so you can get on MSNBC is going to end. We're not going to put up with it.
This is my procedural right as a member of this committee.
You can go with Mr. Frost and Mr. Green.
I'm reclaiming my time.
That's what you want. No.
Well, that debate also took center stage at City Hall Plaza. From Sky Eye, you can see dueling rallies over Boston's immigration policies. And while the majority of the attendees support the mayor, the opposition also made its point today, as WBZ's Tiffany Chan shows us.
Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here.
Dueling rallies bringing hundreds of people to Boston City Hall Plaza Wednesday.
Shame on you!
Some taking aim at Boston Mayor Michelle Wu as she testified before Congress
That the city of Boston is safe.
defending Boston's sanctuary city status. The policy limits local police from turning over undocumented immigrants to federal agents in cases that don't involve criminal matters.
There are a level of fear. Even today when I rally people to come, some people did ask, would it be okay?
The overwhelming majority of rallygoers were there in support of Mayor Wu, holding signs that read, "We've got your back." They drowned out a small group calling for an end to sanctuary cities.
If people want to come to this country, they should do it legally. And if somebody is here illegally, they're breaking the law, and we should treat it as any other crime.
As the crowds got bigger, Boston police officers formed a barricade between rallygoers and the stage.
I want to thank Mayor Wu for having the courage to travel to D.C. and to fight for our people.
A growing debate that's unfolding here in Boston and nationally.
We should find ways that they can come in legally. And I think that Americans need to have a say about how many are coming in.
USA! USA!
Outside of Boston City Hall, I'm Tiffany Chan, WBZ News.